Laws to punish single mothers are being passed, and it's really rough. It's really rough for these women who have made bad decisions. They've made their choice. They're going to have to live with the consequences of the decisions that they made. We talked about Project 2025, how it's going to reshape the government, but there are a bunch of other laws that are doing a lot as well. For example, in Tennessee, they passed a new bill that makes it a misdemeanor if a woman willfully puts the wrong man's name on the baby's birth certificate, and that could be upgraded to a felony. And then we also have the case in Florida where they've banned lifetime alimony, and other states are looking to adapt these measures. They're small, but they are meaningful because for a long time there was nothing being done. Now we have Project 2025, which will strip away funding from programs that single mothers depend on. Not only programs, but it will also ban things that single mothers are heavily involved in, such as adult work, everything ranging from ladies of the night, uh, you know, offering up their chilling their services in the streets, to potentially blocking platforms like OnlyFools and OnlyFans. So these are big, very, very big implications. And it's not just blocking OnlyFools and OnlyFans. We're talking about just like wiping out the entire adult industry. And many of you are like very furious about this. It's like, I think to myself, what is wrong with some of you? This content isn't helping any of us. All right. It's like it's only hurting us. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not a Christian idealist or anything. Trust me, I get it. Like, what are you supposed to do as a man? But it's like this content, it's garbage. It's absolute garbage. It's absolute filth. It screws with our brains. Platforms like Facebook need to be, and it's especially Instagram need to be held accountable because they are worse than they are 10 times worse than the hub. Every post you go on, you have these women in these outfits, catly clad outfits, that are just there to, you know, be a gateway for them to take you over to Lonely Fools and OnlyFans and extract wealth and resources from you and extract wealth and resources from children. Platforms like Twitch. Twitch is now an adult platform. It's an adult platform for kids, okay? Because there's a lot of kids on there, and it's a gateway to degeneracy. And many of you really are like, you don't care because as long as you have access to the two P's, which are basically corn and ladies of the night. So adult content, online, and ladies of the night. You don't care about anything else. Or I care, angry, but a man has needs. No, bro, this is ridiculous. It's not a human right. Oh, it's a First Amendment right. It's a first. Your First Amendment doesn't mean anything to anyone. All right, you don't have any rights. You have special privileges, and those privileges can be taken away at any time. Okay, it's crazy. It's garbage content. Anyway, right now I saw a post from someone, and he basically said something. He said, "Careful what you wish for," and this was in response to my video. New laws are being passed to severely punish single mothers. Have you considered that the far left's excess may have been engineered to create popular support for an overcompensating swing to the far right? I followed a lot of international political events since the events of 2020, and it is a pretty consistent trend across Western nations. Consolidation of power is part of the playbook as media manipulation, control of educational institutions, and manipulation of women for social engineering. As much as I dislike woke culture and personally like Trump's style and message, it looks to me like they're likely all playing for the same team. And if they are, we could lose the game before we even know it started. Let's be very, very clear. We're living in a dystopia right now. We're living in a dystopia right now. So the argument he's making here is that, well, if the if the people on the right get their way, things could be even much much worse than they are on the left right now. And I'm thinking to myself, so what exactly? How much worse are you talking about? Like, how much worse is it actually going to get? What? It's because like on the left right now, we're looking at things like travel bans. Okay, and I think like people I think what people are trying to say is, well, angry, if the right gets their way with the extreme Project 2025 things, Project 2025, it wants to ban adult content, it wants to ban ladies of the night, it wants to It's they say it's Christian fundamentalist. Guys, look at this society that we live in right now. This is sick, and it's sick. It's sick. It's absolutely sick. And you can't even certain things you can't even say anymore. You can't make certain jokes like, "Oh, you just never say these things." It's sick. This is a sick and disgusting society that we live in. All right. At the end of the day, it's like people are like, "Well, it's better than what the Republicans are going to do." I mean, come on. A lot of you guys are more than happy just to stay inside all day, never leave your homes, work, just chill at your home gyms, barbecue and eat, smoke and drink good whiskey. But but you better have access to your corn, or your adult content, or else you're not going to be happy. You're not going to, that's going to really piss you off. Like, bro, get a couple of magazines, man. Get a couple of magazines like they used to do in the 70s and the 80s and the 90s. Get a couple of magazines and go wild. This nonsense, this absolute nonsense is a joke. Okay? This stuff is, listen, if we are to expand these things, people are like, well, we should actually legalize ladies of the night. Let me tell you something, guys. It's not as hunky dory as you think it is. You legalize this stuff, it's like, I understand your position. I understand the position into legalizing it, but it wouldn't make society any better. It's basically just giving these single mothers another pass. And it's like, guys, have you thought about disease? Like, have you thought about disease and the constant threat of disease? And you're like, well, when you regulate it, everyone has to go and get checked regularly, and there's a lot of health benefits. Here's my position: if you want to engage in that type of thing, get a flight over to Tijuana, go over to Mexico, and have fun. Okay, there's an alley in Tijuana where where you have lots of those women, dirt cheap, or they have tons of these places over there that you can visit. I've been over there, and I'm just telling you, you can get whatever you like over there. It's all over the place. But if that's what you're looking for, but I don't think the United States needs any more of that. Look at the disgusting state that we have our country in, and you want more of this garbage in the U.S. I mean, come on, come on. It's good that they are passing these laws that will potentially get rid of programs, like Section 8 and a variety of other programs that these people are using, and funds for these public housing. Goodbye WIC. We need to get rid of that too. A lot of y'all are like, WIC, that's women, infant, children. Listen to me. Women are not designed to live without a man. All right. People need to experience consequences. If women can't take care of their kids, then what ends up happening is this: the state will take them, or a family member who can take care of them will take them. That's all there is to it. All right. And many of you hate to hear this, but that's what should happen. All right. If the father can't have his kids, all right, if a father cannot have his kids or doesn't want them, because many of these kids are born to Chad and Tyrone, then if the woman can't take care of them, then the state needs to take them. And a lot of you are like, well, when these children grow up in the state housing, we all know how terrible the state is. Yeah, the state is rough, man, but guess what? These are consequences. Consequences need to begin to occur. These women need to face consequences for having children that they cannot provide for. If they can't provide for these children, the state will have to deal with it. And instead of having taxpayers continue to foot the bill, that's the end of that. People, this comment like, oh, well, we're going to be living under this oppressive regime of the far right. Well, guess what? Look at what do you think the regime of the far left is like? Because that's what we're experiencing right now. It's only getting worse and worse and worse. And you're basically like, it's better that we maintain the status quo. It's better to keep the devil that we know. Like, how do you write something like this? And I get what this person is saying. I'm not attacking them, but it's like so tone deaf. I get it. I get what you're saying. Things could swing far right. I predicted this actually. I said this, that the pendulum has swung so far left that it will potentially now swing far right, because every action has an equal and opposite reaction. And this is not just This is not just in seen in things like physics. This is seen in social science as well, in social sciences. So it's going to swing far right. It went so far left that it only makes rational sense that eventually it would swing far right before it settles somewhere in the middle. It's like, come on, come on. You're like, oh my gosh, could you imagine? This is just controlling stuff. When they come out with like a system where you're going to need like an ID or to prove your age or something before you can access this type of adult content. How dare you? How dare you, bro? I don't care. I really don't care if you're able to access your corn. And they're also looking to ban OnlyFools and LonelyFans on their Project 2028. Not just OnlyFools and LonelyFans, but just pretty much all adult content as it is. But they're going to go. I guarantee you that the Department of Justice is right now gathering data gathering information on LonelyFools and OnlyFans, as much evidence as they can against them before they go after them, because they're going to charge them. They're going to charge them because that platform is not going to. That platform, I truly don't believe is going to stay forever. They took down. What was the name of that platform? Omegle. All right, for things very similar to what they're alleging. What do you call it? OnlyFools and LonelyFans have done. And OnlyFools and LonelyFans have done much, much worse. So if they could take down Omegle, oh my gosh, OMG, OnlyFools is on the way out. Trust me on that. And all the 304s marching in Washington isn't going to save it, okay? Because a lot of them are headed to jail. A lot of these women haven't paid their taxes. A lot of these women have been involved in more than just selling pictures online. They've been involved in some real nasty stuff, much worse than the things that you think the nasty stuff that you think they've been involved in. And they need to go to jail. They need prison, because this is not jail stuff, this is prison stuff. They need to go to prison and serve their time because they have a debt to society. Anyway, guys, don't forget I have another channel called Angry, where I discuss gaming, anime, geek stuff, nerd stuff, real world stuff, or whatever else interests me. There's a link to a description of the video. Go check the video. Go check it out. Subscribe to the channel. Support my work. And also, don't forget that I have another channel called Men Walking Away, where I discuss topics like the one on this channel. So I release new videos on Men Walking Away every single day, and they're just like the Angry Guy channel. So if you want even more Angry Guy content, head over to Men Walking Away. There's a link to the Men Walking Away channel description video. Go check it out. Support the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Support my work, guys. Laws to punish single mothers are being passed. What do you think regarding this? I want to hear your thoughts on this, so let's talk about it in the comments. Like the video if you like it. Don't forget to subscribe. And if you like the video, share the video. And just remember that all roads lead to MWA, Men Walking Away, and cheers.